Welcome back to the Teen Talk Show. In this talk show, I talk about my life as a teen in Hong Kong during this pandemic. For this third and final episode, I really wanted to talk about sort of what I've learned throughout this entire pandemic. And to sum up COVID really briefly, to start off, speaking now after the worst wave in Hong Kong is over, Hong Kong people do still need to wear masks everywhere they go, and the restrictions have been easing down, sort of. But I still don't know if Hong Kong will be following the rest of the world, especially here in the US, and slowly start to open things up and get back to the way it was, or if they will continue with what they've been doing and introduce lockdowns in different areas all over. The overall impact on society with all of this that's been going on is pretty crazy to think about, including the health impact, the social impact, the education impact, and socializing, meeting new people, levels of happiness has all really changed, I think, for a lot of people throughout this process. And through all of this, I really think I want to reflect on what I've learned about myself as a person, but about the things and people around me that have changed my life. This whole crazy, twisted process that I've gone through honestly has changed the way that I think as a person. Something that I really realized and has stuck with me is how I've honestly learned to develop more gratitude throughout this entire process. I never realized that my life could change so fast, and throughout this process, I realized that I sort of took the past things that I got to savor for granted. In the past, I never really took time out of my day to appreciate what I had, the little things that I don't get to experience anymore. I don't get to experience seeing people's smiles all the time, people taking down their masks without something covering half of their face. I never realized how amazing of an opportunity it is to be able to go out with all of your friends without being or feeling like you're in danger. I never realized how much people help me. My helper and my auntie has helped me so much. She's pretty much the glue that holds my life together, and I never realized that until this entire process. In the past, I didn't take time to realize this, and I didn't take the time out of my day to appreciate any of these things. I took it for granted in a way. Being able to travel, I thought it was just a routinely part of my life. I got so used to it that I didn't take it in and realize, hey, what if tomorrow I can never do this again? What if a month from here, a year from now, or ever, I'll never be able to do this again? I never even thought about that. I always just thought, this is my routine, this is my life. I'm a lucky person, let's just move on with it. If I could go back and if I could switch time, I really would have focused on savoring the last few months and years of my life where I got to live this life that honestly I would love to live now. The life where I can see everyone, the life where I don't feel like I'm restricted and limited from doing what I used to be able to do. And it's honestly pretty sad to think that I don't know for sure if Hong Kong will ever go back to the way it was, or if my life will ever go back to the way it was, and all of the people around me, if their lives will ever go back, because you can never be too certain about what's going to happen in your life and what's to come from here. Because I don't know tomorrow if there's going to be another virus. I don't know tomorrow if COVID's going to get worse than it's ever been. Honestly, now that I've experienced this, I've even learned to understand that the whole world is capable of doing so much. I would have never expected us to live through this the way that we have. And I would have never expected people to take the situation to the way it was. People learned to adjust to this brand new lifestyle that some people have never experienced before. People even learned how to create vaccines faster than they've ever been created before. People have learned to just stay cooped up in their house with their family. To go back with what I was saying about gratitude, I am now so grateful for getting to live the life that I did, and I got to experience so much throughout my life, and I still need to appreciate my life now. Even with COVID, there's still things now that I may not be able to experience in my future. For example, it's been good being able to spend time with my family. If COVID didn't happen, I wouldn't have known as many things about my mom as I know about her. I wouldn't have known that my brother was so into sports. I wouldn't have known that my dad is into so much gardening and all of this. I've learned so much about the people around me throughout this time that I maybe wouldn't have been able to learn without COVID. So being able to learn gratitude throughout this process, not only because I want to be more grateful for what I've had before, but I want to be more grateful for what I have now. So learning from my past and learning that I didn't used to take everything and every moment that I cherished in the past to my heart, and taking that and realizing how important that is, that I may never be able to experience that again, but also taking what I have now, which is time with my family, time with the people that I haven't seen in years, and appreciating that too. Over this past year, I've become a person that appreciates the people around her so much more and appreciates the life that I get to live. Putting together all of this just creates, honestly, a big ball of gratitude for me. I clearly was not a very grateful person before, and through COVID, I really learned how to become a grateful and a more appreciative person, because if I didn't have my auntie to help me, I couldn't eat the food that I eat. I wouldn't live the life that I live. Without my family keeping me sane when I'm freaking out, I wouldn't be able to stay sane. I wouldn't have been able to just stay calm when there are stressful situations. And without my friends, I honestly don't know what I would do. They're the people I get to talk to at the end of the day, and they make me laugh, and being happy is a huge part of my life. Not only that, but honestly, my pets. Without them, I don't know what I would do. So everything in general, this whole process of COVID, just dealing with this, has allowed me to realize how grateful I should be for everything that I've had in my life. So what I really have learned overall is that in the coming years that I have, my future years, I should really learn to be more grateful for the things around me. And speaking in the present, I wanted from here on out, just as I've been doing for the past couple of months, learn to appreciate and take in every little thing, because you never know when all of these things can disappear and slip through your fingers. So thank you so much for listening to my talk show on the pandemic and my life as a teen in Hong Kong throughout this entire insane process. But thank you so much for listening, and bye.